guys, I'm going to talk for a few minutes about covenant today. I'm going to read a quote to you to start out because I think that it's really powerful, especially for you men out there, maybe for women too. It's by Vince Lombardi. It says, "Once a man has made a commitment to a way of life, he puts the greatest strength in the world behind him. It's something we call heart power. Once a man has made this commitment, nothing will stop him short of success." And I honestly believe that. I believe that the wholehearted man has the ability to do what he says that he's going to do. And I believe that the wholehearted man can, with courage, overcome the things that he's afraid of. That the man that's connected to God and connected to a community can handle what's put in front of him. And when we talk about covenant, we wouldn't ever have to make a covenant if life was easy. Covenant wouldn't be the same if everything went the way that we wanted it to. But covenant, not only to yourself, it's like commitment. Covenant to yourself and to a marriage is there not only to protect your marriage and to protect yourself, but it allows the greatest place of intimacy to happen. And it allows the greatest place of connection to happen. Covenant is the actual protection. It's the thing that keeps every other thing out so that you can be completely raw and honest and real and in the healthy sense. So that your wife can be vulnerable and know that because of what she said, you're never going to leave. You're never going to waver. Your strength isn't going to be diminished as a man because of your thought life, but that you're actually, because you know how to govern yourself and you know how to take control and use your willpower, not to live in willpower forever, but to how to use it and when to use it. That when you put your whole heart into something, I think when we live wholeheartedly as a man, when you're able to look at God and say, before you, God, I am who I say that I am. Before you, God, what I'm saying to this woman, I really am. Before you, God, you are in the center of my life. To me, that's the only way that we can actually keep a covenant intact for a lifetime. Because covenant requires so much. It does. It requires so much. I think a couple important components to the covenant. One is, for starters, being able to make it to yourself. If you're going into a marriage or if you're going into something that's even accepting the Lord as your Savior, you're coming into covenant with Him, you have to ask yourself, is this something that I'm committing to forever? Is this something that I not just want to do, but is this, when I look down the road in my life, is this something that I want to choose to do for the rest of my life? And when we say yes to that, then all of a sudden, it takes feelings out of the picture. Whether you feel like being a good dad or not, it doesn't matter. You're going to be a great dad because you chose to have kids, therefore you're going to be a great dad. Whether you feel like coming home and being present for your wife, doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter what you feel in those circumstances. Now, feelings do matter and there's a place for them, but inside of covenant, your ability to make a covenant, to me, is your ability to live wholeheartedly. Those two things are linked together. If you can't live wholeheartedly with yourself before marriage, you won't be able to live wholeheartedly inside of marriage and actually keep a covenant. If you can't keep your covenant with God and with yourself, then we have no business making covenants with other people. Maybe it feels like I'm talking a little bit forceful in the sense of you can feel this conversation, but I think so. We have to be really honest with ourselves and go, can I actually fulfill my covenant to God? Am I watching my eyes? Is my mouth speaking wholeness? Is my heart geared towards His heart? Am I laying down my life like He laid down His life for me? Like, am I actually doing that? Am I serving somebody? Am I going to bring health and strength into every environment that I go into. To me, that is what a man does. A man brings strength into every environment he comes into. If you can say yes to that, then you're well on your way into being able to say yes to a covenant for your whole life. Guys, if you're wavering in your ability to say yes to God and yes to taking care of yourself and your heart, body, soul, and spirit, then you need to just take a step back and work on those things with a counselor or a father or a mentor until they're right. And that's okay. That's called strength. That's strength when we're actually able to admit with courage where we need to grow and where we take responsibility to fix and to change. Do that before you get into a marriage covenant that affects more than you. And so, your ability to keep a covenant for the rest of your life is going to be directly linked to, is God your main source? And are you honest with yourself? Are you surrounding people in your life, your community, that can feed into you and are actually helping to change your mind, helping to give you direction, giving you feedback? They can correct you, direct you, and bring you encouragement. Can that happen in your life? If that can, you're well on your way.